Hello and welcome to episode 67 of our Timberborn Update 5 Waterbeaver playthrough in cycle 89, day 18, and you might notice that things are going very quickly right now, and that's because we are time-lapsing to start this episode, because there's a few of you who are really adamant about me just fixing stuff instead of doing literally anything else. So, that's what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to get accomplished by doing this, but I figured I might as well throw you a bone, or somebody might have an aneurysm in the comments about it, but all kidding aside, there is plenty for us to try and optimize. I just don't know how quickly it's going to be happening. So hopefully something good gets done here and we can get something accomplished. I know there's a lot of little tiny nagging things that can be fixed or adjusted or generic housing removed, stuff like that. And there's so much of it that I just can't do it and talk at the same time, or it's going to be like 5 hours of stuff. So enjoy whatever this is, and we'll get everything else sorted as best as we can, and hopefully at some point today we'll have some sort of other stuff taken care of. Like I said, there's tons to get done, tons that we could possibly look into organizing or removing or putting in somewhere else, optimizing, hauling, or employment, reducing employment of some things, removing entire areas of industry, moving things around, you name it, we can probably get it done. So that's where we are. Hopefully you can appreciate that that is going to be a necessary thing for us to do. And at the end of it, we come out with maybe something better, maybe not, but at least we're trying. So I'll see you on the other side of this one. Cycle 90. 9-0. That's a lot of cycles. So hopefully you caught a little bit of what we were working on during that time lapse. I am going to go ahead and take this down to 1x speed so I can move the camera around a little bit better, and we'll talk a little bit about what we did. Most of it, honestly, was just me scrolling through this workplace thing, deprioritizing or reprioritizing, closing a couple of things down that we didn't really need that were left there. Like the log gnawing station, I did pause that because it was producing sawdust, which we do not need. And one thing that we hadn't done for a while was have the ENS actually making a degree. So that's what they're working on now, slowly. But the Bachelors of Agronomy consume sawdust. And one of the things that we've been doing, at least a little bit last episode, was getting this GMO growing lab in place to make some berries for us. And then I had begun the process of putting this guy in. And both of those required a Bachelor's of Agronomy to get going, so that they have. And now they just have to be supplied with all their different materials, or they can start producing berries. We are unfortunately running low on the glowing fluid, but this should help solve the sawdust problem. Saw a couple of comments of people were rather concerned that I was burning the sawdust. We have so much stinking sawdust, it does not matter. It does not matter. So I'm just deeply unconcerned about that at the moment. The polar beavers, with their strange frozen human meat that is so necessary for us to have our carnivorous giant fireflies secrete this glowing fluid. This is just one of those things that takes time. It's 3 days for a batch of 50 frozen human meat, which we do actually need. So this one right here currently is supposed to be getting ice, because we need ice to make various things, including all of our fun medical stuff down here. So again, it's one of those things that it's just a slow process. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just going to be slow. So one of those things that we're probably going to have to do at some point soon-ish, maybe, is try to dynamite this down, but like it's not as simple as some of you think it is. I can't just do it, because building everything in this mod takes so much longer than in vanilla or even slightly modified Timberborn. Like, you have to have the ability to get up on top of here, and then you have to be able to blast it down with the dynamite, which, yes, we finally do have a lot of dynamite, but again, it is not a fast process. You can't just say, why haven't you done this yet? Well, there's a very good reason. That's because everything in this mod takes 5 or 6 times as long as vanilla game. That's just how it goes. But what we do have, I swear on everything that is holy, this is absurd. This nuclear steam vent still doesn't work. Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Well, at any rate, I mean, it's putting power out, but I can't get my water recovered from here. Not like I need it anyway. But you saw that I was rotating this supposedly correctly. So I'm gonna say flawed building design. Sorry, but it's just deeply flawed. I don't know how. But this is now just rapidly sucking up this bad water. Like, you can watch it go down. That's because, of course, these are coded as negative water sources. And that's part of the reason why we blasted this down so much. But not to worry, the nasty water is going to come home to roost once again, just as soon as this keeps on going this way. So, like most things that we deal with, it is a process. It is a very slow process, but we will get there. So I'm thinking at some point, stuff takes such a long time, it's almost impossible to just say, hey, let's do this. But we probably are going to need to put in some sort of a canal here to keep this moving. Because these will go for a decent bit of time just like this. But, you know, it's only so deep, and they are, wow, they are sucking that thing dry. But we're producing a lot of power, which is nice to see. All of these sources are actually emitting water. It's just a slow thing. So there could come a time where our nuclear power might maybe a little bit turn off, because the water hasn't made its way back through here yet. So yeah, this might have been elevated to a slight emergency situation. So we have this mess right here, right? And again, it's not as simple as you think it is. I know there's a couple of you in the comments. I'm gonna do my best not to like be mean, but you just don't get it. That's the best way I can think to word it. Is you just don't understand how much stuff is completely different in this mod. Like it's like a fantasy world, I guess, in your mind. And I really am not trying to be mean about stuff. It's just, you just really fundamentally do not understand how this works. So, what I'm going to have to do is put in a whole bunch of ladders here, and yeah, this is going to give us an avenue for our beavers to become polluted. But, I mean, we have to. We've got to figure out a way to make this work. It's just unavoidable. So, there you have it. Like, if you are someone who easily gets frustrated watching me play the game, this series is probably not for you. I say in the middle of episode 67, which, if you've been watching 67 episodes of this and you're just now getting frustrated, then I understand. I understand. It's a very long commitment of stuff, but like, come on. You got to know what you signed up for here. Just to be brutally honest with you. That's just life, man. It's a hard mod. It's a very hard mod. There's a whole lot going on, and it's easy until it's not, right? Like what was that survey? It's like some stupid, ridiculously high number of people, when asked, could you land a commercial airliner if the pilot was incapacitated, said yes. You're not doing that. You're going to crash and you're going to kill everybody. It's hard. It is very, very hard. It might look easy. And yes, airplanes, whatever, auto land, etc., so on and so forth, autopilot. But look, if you haven't done it, you're not going to do it. It's simple as that. That's just how it works. So anyway, moving on. This is getting filled back in. Thankfully, it was pretty much exactly perfectly dry. But now they are having this flow over here. We really we got to start moving this stuff out of the way, man. Everything takes so long. It's almost impossible to get anything accomplished. That's just the way it is. So we had a pretty huge bottleneck in the way of these, what are these called, advanced sawmills, and they were stuffed full of sawdust, which again, we just have to get rid of it. There's so much of it, it is impossible to keep this like adequately anythinged, because there's just so much sawdust absolutely everywhere. So, like, what? I don't know. What else am I supposed to say? There's so much sawdust. It's an absolutely just apocalyptic quantity of sawdust that we're dealing with here. So, I'm just going to have to put in, I think, a couple more intermediary things. Set that as a supply, because these are just clogged. That's just what it is. Like, they can't run anything else until the sawdust is taken away. And they're already prioritized by haulers. We have 140 haulers, and I have one bot working in one of these balloon things. So, you know, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Hopefully you also saw during the time lapse that we have reduced very heavily the amount of beavers working in these farmhouses, and now we actually have 9 unemployed beavers. So I'm thinking, as we keep on doing this, I'm going to have to reopen one of these hauling towers. Again, marked as the lowest possible priority workplace. And that's going to say, oh, you have 43. No, we don't. We don't. It's fine. Hey, the well-being went up to 72. Nice. But yeah, these large farmhouses... okay, well, this one definitely doesn't need 8. Just reducing the number of beavers working in there, because a lot of this is just sitting here unharvested because we don't have storage for it, just because we massively are overproducing pumpkins. But it's one of those things, if the production were ever actually, you know, working correctly, I don't know why it's not working correctly. It's such a simple thing. It's pumpkins and salt. I don't know how that can't possibly be supplied. Which one of these is making it? Yeah. Oh, it's the logs. Duh. Sunflower oil we've been really, really good on for a long time. But, you know, it's just one of those things. One tiny thing in your production crashes to a halt, everything just immediately dies. And that's logs. And that's because of the sawdust. Even though we have, right now, probably about half of our sawdust storage empty, it's because it's not being removed from... these, like, see, this still, even though it's prioritized by haulers and we have 6 beavers working here, they still have not gotten the sawdust out of here. That's just what it is. We just have to have more and more and more and more and more of these. So, you know how it goes. This thing, balloon trader landing pad. Which was it? This one? Yes. Okay. This one has bots working with it, and this is getting coconuts, and this one is also supposed to be getting coconuts. I'm going to go ahead and like automate a different one of these. This one getting pineapples. Which one has more? Okay, that has 35. That one has... Alright. I'm going to... Again, we're probably going to end up doing this with all of the bots as soon as we have them, but everything just takes time. It takes time, man. At the very least, though, a lot of our stuff has been improving, has been catching up nicely as we've been able to get stuff taken care of. I did have one of the grist mills changed over to make the weird udon. I'm assuming that's just being consumed because I don't see it in the food list. But, like, look, we got 44,000 food. We're fine on food. We've won the game in terms of supplying beavers with things required to live. Now it's the game of trying to make sure stuff works, which is honestly a whole lot harder than just the pure survival bit. Like, look, we got these giant towers of stuff that haven't been filled in. That's just how it is. GMO growing lab, again, glowing fluid. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, we have very clearly reached the limit of our production's capability at this point without expanding for other stuff. But where am I going to put it? Because I got to get these guys up here to do stuff. And it takes so long to get everything done. It's just very, very, very hard. And I desperately need you guys to understand. It's not the Ron Popeil special. You cannot set it and forget it. You have to actually do something. It's not going to be a quick process. It's just not. So hopefully we can come to an understanding about that. There's so much that's got to get done. And it's not going to be fast. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, it's just not going to be quick. That's the reality. So, Going to get a couple of those guys in there to try and hopefully get stuff taken care of. But again, it's just going to take time. I feel like if I say that again, someone's going to come firebomb my house, so maybe I should stop. But, you know, that's just how it is. And I really don't want to just have these videos devolved into time lapses, because I feel like there's so much that we can actually still accomplish and have it be kind of interesting. Maybe. But again, like, what else can we get done? Truthfully, what else can we get done? I'm going to deprioritize that. If I can just have this one... Yeah, get this guy done, because then they can come in, hopefully, and start removing some of this stuff. It's just really not set up. Not set up in the slightest to be a very kind map. Somebody left a comment, I can't remember if it was on one of these videos or on another series or whatever, that this map would be great for a hard mode Iron Teeth challenge. And I think, yeah, I agree. It's just what specifically makes this hard with the Water Beavers is the unique challenge of catering to all of the different needs of the Water Beavers. Because it is, man, there's just so much that you have to do. That's why you have to have such a huge population. Like, I can't have a smaller population because then stuff's not going to get done. It's not going to exist. That's just how it is. But while we're waiting on them to do literally anything with everything, we did get a pretty good comment suggestion on the last video about doing something with these rooftop terraces. Because, don't forget, we have these overhang walkway platforms. So what I wanted to try is... I'm going to just pause this so I can actually, you know, do stuff. Take, not that one, like right here, and do, because assuming this is like as tall as this is ever going to be, pretty much. And even in pause, this is laggy, sheesh. But the idea, if I can get this to actually latch onto anything, there we go. We take our platforms and our skewer platforms and everything, and we just make something for our... what are these things called? Platforms, rooftop platforms, whatever. And stick those on top of there, and then that frees up space in the middle for other stuff. Terraces, yeah. So, like, you see, come on. Right here. Just like that. It's going to give me another 4. And I know we can do other stuff as well. But, just like that, we'll have another 4 of those. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Not going to work. But I can do that on here. So you see, there's value. There's value in trying some of this nonsense crazy stuff, right? It actually sometimes does work. And you know, the beavers could always use some help in this regard. Getting different activities to occupy their time. Now, obviously, not all the beavers live in this exact same spot, and that's just how it goes. But, again, it's those little things that all add up. So, get this thing back in triple speed mode, and yeah, I mean, I hate to have these all just be time lapses constantly, but, you know, we got to do it. We got to get stuff done. So, hopefully, at some point during this time lapse, we will be able to finally get a handle on some of this stuff, because, man... there is just so much going on that we can't possibly hope to accomplish unless we can get a tiny little bit of something going. So we're just going to see what happens. Like, I'm sorry if you don't like them, but that's just where we are. We're very close to the end of this series. Like, practically, I really don't think there's going to be that much more we can realistically do without the videos just completely becoming unwatchable. And some of you have already said that they are for you, and that's unfortunate, but I don't want to give up on this yet. It's just the game is determined to not let me do anything else with this, just because everything takes so long. And it's so backlogged and everything is just bogged down, and then I'm getting... right now looking at this saying 7, 6, 5 FPS in the corner. So we'll see what we can get accomplished. I would love to get that that hill you see in the middle of the screen completely knocked down so I can try to build some more balloon traders and get increased importing of human flesh, which, again, gross. But it is what it is. See you on the other side. Okay, so I think that's enough time-lapsing of that stuff. We got most of this cleared out. I'm going to go ahead and detonate this, as well as this dynamite, and then take this down to single speed so we can see a little bit better. We have made a very large space accessible now, and I think what we're going to have to do to properly optimize this is we're going to get rid of these balloon trader landing pads and put them out in a grid, and I think we're also going to need to take away some of these grapes, but we're going to see exactly how this is going to get laid out. We can take the opportunity to have this interface very nicely with our balloon trader landing pads and just straighten paths here. But yeah, I think we're really going to have to just completely clear cut a whole lot of this. So let's just go ahead and rip the band-aid off. We do have this pile of glass panes to move before we get too feisty here. This is currently making glass, and I want there to be somewhere for that glass to go. So I'm going to just take a spot right here and just duplicate the storage for the glass. But I'm not going to wait for them to empty it because I really don't want to. So that goes away. We have these 2 mechanics lodges who right now are only just bolstering the population, and then 1 gear every 10 hours. There's faster ways to do that. So those can go away. This isn't actually doing anything anyway because it hasn't set off in a really long time, so that's gone. That's gone. This for spicy sodas, I'm going to leave in place so I don't forget that it's there. 27% of the way through, 60% of the way through. You know what? We're not going to wait. We're just going to get rid of all this. Start fresh, start clean. You know the drill. This, of course, Harvester's Office probably needs to stay. But my main goal in doing this is just to clear space. And I'm going to take my... Yeah, we'll go ahead and just get rid of all this. Insect larvae. That's for these guys, but that can get moved. Yeah, I just went ahead and got rid of that. Why not? Insect larvae, you know... Actually, hold on. There's no reason for me to do anything else with this, is there? No. Alright. So, insect larvae will just have a little bit of tiny storages here for those. That's fine. And then these also need the frozen human meat, which I believe has to be stored in the underground cold storage, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. This cooking tent is making awful stew for the purposes of trading. So we will keep that there. We might, well, not in that exact spot. We might end up moving it. What's here? What's here? Silicon metal ingots. Those are being produced nowhere currently. But if they were being produced, they would be produced over here. So I'm just going to, first of all, remember what type of building those are in, because I can't really tell. Pile. Okay. Small pile. So I will just put 2 of those here, because why not? Have some extra storage for when we'll need it later. Look at all this cleaned up off the ground, no big deal. Oh, that's actually what I had already started doing there. That's for drill bits. Hopefully we still have drill bits. Yes. We'll get that taken care of. Any other storages I should know about over here? I know this is Awful Stew is here for supplying other stuff. But I think now I can safely go ahead and get rid of that. Clean up paths a little bit more. I'm going to unplant these bits of grapes because I'm pretty sure what I'm working with here. Take a look at our balloons. So this doesn't have to be... Oh, good. Good. I was worried I was going to have to bring in some other garbage here. But... Wait, hold on. I don't need that here. Never mind. Balloon trader landing pads. Gonna just stack them up. What's in the way here? Oh, this lag is so bad it won't even... Oh, there's a tree. Okay. Alright, that needs to go away expeditiously. Come here and to get rid of it. Okay, while we're at it, I'm going to lower the working hours to, say, 14. Try to give these guys a little bit of a break. Hit pause again now that that's gone. Balloon Trader landing pads, like I said before, they're very, very friendly to gridding. So we'll get rid of that. This will get pushed over because that's already connected there. But yeah, I'm going to need to have a lot of these things. Remember, we started out with 3 of them. So if I can have... Right now I got 4. This is going to be 6. I know we have to have the fancy blueprint, so let's just make sure real quick that we actually do. I've got 4 of those. I've got 4 of those. I've got 5 of those. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to hit pause on 4 of these just because I'm paranoid. Let's come over here to our Artist Lodge. Oh, they were already doing that. Oh, and the storage was just full. Okay, so it's actually got some ready to go. Good. All right, so anyway, I got 6 of these. They do have to have path connecting everything. So we'll go ahead and get that set up nice and easy here. And yes, before you ask, all 6 of these are going to be balloons to trade with the jungle beavers. Wait, no, they're not. Polar beavers. It's so hard for me to remember stuff. All right, hide the HUD. Oh, the lag. Yes. All right, so that goes there. Come on. Even paused. The game is crying. It is screaming. Hello? Thank you. Come on. All right, so I got 6 of those. We're just going to go ahead and make sure these are absolutely ready to go. So that's 5 for frozen human meat and 1 for ice. Now let's check our recipes. So the frozen human meat, we have to have strong alcohol, which can be made in a variety of ways. That is going to need a tank relatively nearby, which we do have the fantastic option of placing right here. Just flip that. And that will be, there we go. Set to obtain. That will have to have a pathway attached to it, which it now does. And then the other item that those need to trade, of course, is methane, which we do have an abundance, but it is not super conveniently located. So I will go ahead and, just because these are so cheap, might as well go ahead and have a gas tank. Kind of convenient. And for that, I'm going to take this glorious storage here and remove it. It didn't have anything in there anyway. And then the gas tank, yes, lag, thank you. Please rotate, thank you. One more. Okay, that's going to be set to methane receive. So that's everything for the obtaining of frozen human meat, which, again, gross, but whatever. The ice has to have this, the warm storage of evil stew, and that also has to be made in a cooking tent. So I'm pretty sure there's not really that compelling of a reason to move the hand of soup, but I'm going to see here. Is it possible? Is it possible? All platform. To hand of soup. Oh, yes, it is. It is possible. Just because we're trying to optimize stuff here, right? That's our magic word, is optimize. Yeah, that's going to be massively helpful. So this will just go here. This path will go away. This path will go away. And this path will go away. And what's going to go here? That's right, it's a cooking tent for the express purpose of making lag. Awful stew. For the purpose of fueling these guys. So that's going to be, I guess supply makes more sense. So that will clear up space over here. Keep in mind, we're going to have a whole bunch of garbage on the ground here that they're just going to have to pick up. So before we unpause... Oh, see, this is going to be the challenge here, is getting all this stuff up off the ground without also highlighting all of this mess. Well, basically anything that is sky exploration points, yeah, we want to make sure that's good to go. It's probably not going to be too much of that on the ground, just random spots. Okay, so that... No, stop it. That's got to get picked up. I don't think... See, those are already... Good go. Anyway, so hopefully you can appreciate the effort that goes into trying to optimize this stuff. Because, man alive, is this... Oh, yeah. It's a process. So, I'm going to continue and just make this as optimized as I can right here. Because we got 1,000 grapes. I think we've solved the grape problem. Thankfully. Because that was getting to be an enormously ridiculous thing to deal with. So now... Lag is ridiculous. Alright. Get that hooked up. Get that hooked up. I did, unfortunately, kind of build myself into... Come on. Build myself into a corner here with how this is set up. So I am going to have to come in here with a ladder. Or a couple ladders. Just to be able to get this stuff out of here. I know it's suboptimal, or whatever you want to call it, but hey. We'll be okay. Just have to get it done. So I guess probably just makes the most sense to... Yeah, just leave this here. Those are already marked. I have to demolish that. And then, yeah, we are going to put additional balloons in over here. But, again, it's one of those things that is just going to take some time. So we'll let them take care of that, move on to some other stuff. Now, the water situation is not really ideal, and I'm not entirely sure what's caused that, because we have screw press axles. These are these are prioritized by haulers, so maybe it's just one of those things that stuff that previously would have used a lot of water was being kept in check because other stuff was not supplied correctly. So that's a whole thing. This is making anvils. I already have a full storage of anvils, so I'm going to switch this guy over to making laboratory glassware. Even though this is on the complete opposite side of the map, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. But if we can just get the glowing fluid situation improved even a tiny bit, then that's going to unlock a whole bunch of other stuff. And that is the main reason why we are doing this way. Just one of those things. Now, of course, the rest of the stuff that goes into this is going to be its own can of worms for probably the vast majority of the rest of the time we've got going on today. But that just goes to show you everything takes time. So they'll get rid of this stuff eventually. We'll get this done eventually. It is my sincere hope that we no longer have enough of a sawdust problem to have to manually make it. But we also, at this point now, are starting to run out. So I will go ahead and I will pause these wood burners because they have served their purpose. Or at least those two. This one is... That was burning excess sawdust. That's nenophyres, and that should be lotus flowers. Yeah, I'm just going to pause all the wood burners now that these giant advanced sawmills can actually run. Hopefully. That would be its own thing. We have tons and tons of giant logs. Oh, which reminds me, this one that was cutting these logs in half, we no longer need to have it do that. I'm going to turn that back into regular logs. So hopefully that ends up being something we can continue working with here. I have 5, count them, 5 extra bots. So in the interest of actually, you know, accomplishing more stuff, I am going to automate these balloon trader landing pads right here. And I've got 3 more, which means I can come down here, not there, here, and I can make those for bots. Come on. Come on. Oh, that was already automated. All right. So now I've got 2 more. All right, I got to pause to actually click on this. Did I actually have all these tapped ready to go? Yes. Okay. So now I've got 2 extra bots. I guess I could go ahead and just get these guys all squared away. There we go. So this now can go away. That's got sky exploration points. We're going to leave that alone. That's got balloons. We're going to leave that alone. That goes away. We have all this dirt, too, that we're not doing anything with. Which reminds me that we have all this space over here. Because you remember when I was so concerned about all these pumpkins we weren't going to be doing anything with? Well, about that. We've got an absolutely ridiculous quantity of dirt that we could be placing in here if we felt so inclined. So I will go ahead and turn... These are absolutely minimized in terms of priority, but that's going to let them at least handle this when they have nothing else going on. And we can dump our dirt. But not all of it, because some of it has to get turned into gold. We did last episode place... lag. This thing. Wow, the metalworker statue, which does give these guys a little bit of a bonus. And that's a whole thing. So we have one of these finished here. This is waiting on the stuff for the balloon. Thankfully we have balloons, because those take a really long time to build, and it's super annoying. Oh, you know what? This is a better place for us to be... Alright, this ladder's got to get out of here. This is a better place for us to be putting our dirt, because we can actually use this. There we go. I'm sure they'll make good use of all of that time there. In terms of balloons, we're fine. In terms of drill bits, not looking that fantastic. This is set to be making drill bits, but why can it not... Ah, scrap metal. So that's another one of those things. That we built all this mess over here, but we weren't really equipped to harvest a whole lot of scrap metal. Although we did make this a little easier to get to. I don't know. They're going to get infected anyway, so we might as well just, make it work. Give them something. So, of course, these don't give us water, and they're consuming mass quantities of nuclear fuel. I'm actually going to pause production of bots here, because we got to get more nuclear fuel produced, which is what the centrifuge is supposed to be doing. But it is waiting on... Wait, why is this one waiting on nuclear waste? We have so much nuclear waste. It should be a non-issue. Prioritized by haulers? Might as well. Alright, that's fine. Very, very good. This is already operating, yes? Looks like it, I suppose. Get that going there. Oh, I didn't have this set to do awful stew. Okay. So that means this can now get removed. I know I could have emptied it. It's fine. They'll pick it up. No love lost there. Strong alcohol being brought in this way. That's fine. Trade nice and easy. Have I replenished my supply of balloon trader landing pads? Yes. Okay. So, no, don't pause the balloon. Unpause the landing pad. You can go ahead and get these unlocked. Get the rest of these built. That should work nicely. Oh, hey, this is ready to go. Which means we got doubles here. Those 3. And then a single here. And yes, during the time lapse, I did blow up something I was not supposed to blow up. It happens while life goes on. But we'll get that all taken care of best as we can. I guess they're in the process of filling this stuff in, which is good. We can continue optimizing all of this mess. I think there is there's a pathway that would lead us to having a third row of these things here, but I think I would want to fill this up first. This is just the polar beaver one because it's closest to where we have our giant fireflies, which honestly might be able to make more of those. I don't know. We also have to have these insect larvae, which are going to require trading with the jungle beavers, which I probably should go ahead and make provisions for. Those guys take metal, which we don't really have in huge supply, but the stock situation on that should be getting better. And of course, the jungle beavers will also give us pineapples. So I think, see, I've got 6 for the polar beavers. I might want to go ahead and build. Can I fit 4 over here? 4 for the jungle beavers? I think it's going to work, but it's one of those things, you already know. It's going to take time. So that's waiting there. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and pause this and just do it because you already know. You already know. We got so much going on. We might as well just make everything. Oh, really? Really? That's not going to fit there? Okay, well, I mean, it can be moved. Especially because of how this is set up here. I can, because these are going to have pathways going between here and there. Yeah, because that one's going to go there. We could just have that go there to there, which is going to remove this here. Remove that there, remove that there, remove that there. And then that removes that there, and there, and there. And I guess we probably are going to need that still, so... Alright, small electric pump. Did I just put the small one in because I didn't have room for the big one? I'm thinking that might actually be what's happening here, so maybe I should put... I see. Yeah, there's really no reason for me to do it this way. I just ended up doing it that way. So that's going to make this a little bit of an interesting prospect here. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this log gnawing station. There's really no reason for it. They can still get to this side from the other side here. Nothing of value was lost. I want to say that's like attributable to the critic. If anyone remembers that. But I'm sure it probably is actually from something else. So, let's see. Large aquifer pump, hopefully... there's no blueprint, just a clockwork robotic controller, which I do have. Drill bits could possibly be a challenge, but... Oh, hey, look! We've got bachelors in agronomy here. Nice. Probably not going to need too many more of those, but I did want to have those... Oh, they're already halfway to the next one. Okay. So that's a process there. This lumberjack flag can go away. We'll get all this situated, and then hopefully... I did the same garbage. I did the exact same garbage that I just... Stupid idiot. Yeah. Come on, man. Oh, I gotta take the small thing away because now it's... And then I put a bigger thing. I move it over and put a bigger thing. Look, don't be like me. Don't be like me. If you're watching this and you're under the age of 30, it's not too late. You can choose a better life. Oh, jeez. All right. There is a reason there is a small one there. We'll just go with that. Okay, so I placed these two and haven't attached anything else to them. These... Oh, yes. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Good. All right. So, these 4 are supposed to be for the jungle beavers. So, let's make sure... No, click. Please, come on. Just line up. For once in your life. Thank you. All right. So, the jungle beavers... that's not jungle beavers. Like I said, we have to have the larvae, but we also have to have the pineapples. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think it consumes the larvae fast enough for it to really be a problem. Okay, yeah, that's so slow. I can have one of these. One of these for larvae. The rest can be for pineapples. Because we should have just an enormous quantity of pineapples. So those 3 should be fine there. Get that taken care of. And then maybe... lag. These guys right now are getting coconuts. And I know this right here I'm pretty sure is also jungle. But there's other stuff that the jungle beavers can give us, like the foreign food thing. We still do need to probably be gathering a pretty decent quantity of that. How's everything else looking? Okay, so now we have 15 nuclear fuel because I paused the bot creator thing. So I guess that's something that's happened here. We try and get the rest of this garbage off the ground. There we go. Because I know there's a decent bit of the apple stew that can get picked up. This one right here can have a bot assigned to it. And that's working out pretty well. I hope you can understand how this is working here. Because there's so many moving parts that are all so tightly interwoven that it is almost impossible to make a massive amount of change in a short amount of time. But we're making headway. We are actually getting stuff accomplished, and it's good. But it's a process. Why do I have so much awful stew? All right, this I'm gonna stop these people from making awful stew. I guess I'm gonna turn this over to cereal bars, because you know we have to have those. Or maybe I should have it be to rice balls. That's a better use of our production capacity as rice balls. But we do have 1,500 awful stew. And that is for export purposes only. I'm sure they're going to eat it because they're stupid. But it's fine. If you haven't already seen, then I've started time-lapsing because we can't sit here and not be time-lapsing at this point. If there's any amount of progress occurring and I'm not actively looking for stuff or clicking or whatever, it's probably going to be time-lapsed. So whatever they can get accomplished while we're doing our end-of-episode spiel here is what they will get accomplished. But I think, even though it might not appear like we got a ton of stuff done, I think this was very productive. Even just for the realignment of our balloons here and increasing our supplies to the giant carnivorous, terrifying firefly things, that's a big help. Because that kind of underpins a whole lot of our production in the GMO labs and all that stuff. And, you know, you can see the benefits. It might be a super slow process, but you can see them, and it's working. So we'll just keep adjusting other things. I know we're going to have some more balloons being made. That's one of those Handicrafter Lodges things that at some point during this time-lapse I will have adjusted. But, you know, I think considering where we are, could be a whole lot worse. So appreciate your patience with this whole series. Again, it's one of those things that just takes a super long time. We're in the end game. It's running super slowly. And there's a lot of bad, inefficient stuff that we had done toward the beginning and the middle of the series that is just really, really, really hard to come back from. But nevertheless, you being here and watching these videos is the reason I can continue doing it. Beard Boosters, of course, with your direct contributions to helping the channel avoid algorithm chasing in terms of content. In terms of uploading, no, that you're not gonna get away from that. But you are the reason I don't have to take sponsorships for stuff nobody wants to see, or maybe somebody does, but I don't. I want to focus on playing games and enjoying what we're doing here, and you folks make it possible. So huge thank you to you. For your continued support. I really appreciate it. And I am very excited to announce that live streams will be coming back very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm going to try to start introducing weekend stuff again. But middle of the week, obviously not Thursday next week, because in the U.S. it is Thanksgiving Day, which I will be spending with my family, as one should. But it is my sincere hope that we'll be able to come back to at least twice a week for live streams, and take care of some other fun and exciting new things. Going to look into doing another Timberborn live stream series as well. So if you've got ideas for that, I'm always taking those. But we'll see what we're able to get done. We still have lots to do in Satisfactory, and there's a bunch of other games people have been practically begging me to play or get back into playing So get excited. It's going to be a fun time here as we close out 2024, trying some interesting new stuff. And then also next week, something a lot of people have been asking for a very, very long time, might be making an appearance. But that's all the time I got for this one. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.